In the stillness of the cosmic sea, where starlight drifts like whispers of forgotten dreams, there exists a presence both silent and eternal. A place where time folds upon itself and gravity becomes a lullaby, softly humming through the endless dark. Out there, in the deep tapestry of the universe, lies one of nature's most haunting wonders, the black hole. Imagine a star so vast, so fiercely alive, that it burns through its life in 1 billion years of brilliance. Its heart, a furnace of unimaginable power, fuses atoms and light into a symphony of creation. But even the brightest stars must one day dim, and when their fire dies, gravity, the quiet sculptor of the cosmos, takes back what it once gave. The star begins to collapse, not slowly, but in a rush that defies understanding. It folds inward, its atoms crushed into a singular point so small, so dense, that no light can escape its embrace. The last breath of the star vanishes into silence, leaving behind only a shadow where radiance once lived. That shadow, invisible yet immense, becomes a black hole in the great ocean of space. This birth is neither violent nor chaotic. It is serenity, a transformation that occurs without sound, without witness. The universe simply adjusts its balance, as it always has, as it always will. And from the cradle of collapse emerges something that challenges the very meaning of reality. Around the black hole, space itself begins to twist and ripple. The invisible lines of gravity stretch outward like delicate threads, pulling everything, light, dust, time, into their quiet orbit. A dance begins. Planets that once circled distant suns now feel a faint tug. Clouds of ancient gas drift closer, glowing faintly as they spiral inward, each movement a note in the slow music of creation and destruction. Yet within this darkness there is no chaos. There is only rhythm. Every particle that falls is guided by a cosmic hand, drawn in with elegance, as though gravity itself were composing a melody too deep for the human ear. Far away, in the luminous heart of galaxies, these titans reign, supermassive black holes, millions or even billions of times heavier than our own sun. They rest like still hearts at the center of spiral arms, quietly shaping the motion of entire galaxies. Without them, the stars would drift apart, scattered like dust across infinity. But with them, the universe finds order. They are not destroyers, but anchors. They are not monsters, but mothers of balance. In the center of our own Milky Way, hidden behind veils of starlight and dust, one such presence waits. Astronomers call it Sagittarius A. It is quiet, yet powerful beyond imagination. Around it, stars the size of our sun race at unimaginable speeds, curving through space like fireflies caught in a gravitational dream. Each motion, each orbit reveals the invisible hand that holds them in place. To look upon this invisible presence is to gaze into the deep truth of existence. It reminds us that the universe is not merely a place of light, but of balance, where even darkness has purpose. For every shining star, there must be shadow. For every birth, a return. For every beginning, an end that folds into a new beginning once more. And so the black hole breathes, not with lungs or sound, but with the slow pulse of gravity. Its pull is constant, eternal, patient. It draws in the remnants of long forgotten worlds, the ashes of stars, the frozen dust of time. Around it, the accretion disk glows, a halo of matter spinning faster than thought. The closer it comes, the hotter it burns, until light itself seems to scream before vanishing beyond the event horizon. That edge, that invisible boundary, is where the laws of physics surrender. Nothing that crosses can return. It is not merely the end of matter. It is the end of time as we understand it. To stand there, even in imagination, is to face eternity itself. If you could hover just above that line, you would see light curve in impossible arcs. You would watch entire stars bend around the dark heart, their images stretched into luminous rings by the immense gravity. And if you gazed into the center, you would see nothing, only perfect blackness, a silence that swallows not just sound, but meaning. Yet even this silence is not empty. It hums with the memory of creation. Within it lies everything that once was, compressed into something beyond comprehension. Some say it is a doorway to another universe. Others believe it is the ultimate expression of entropy, the final rest of all that has ever been. But perhaps it is neither. Perhaps it is simply a reminder that the cosmos, in all its vastness, still holds mysteries beyond the reach of thought. Black holes teach us humility. They whisper that even the brightest light can fade, that even the strongest force must yield, that even time itself bends to the quiet will of gravity. They remind us that the universe is not a stage for human triumph, but a living poem written in the language of energy and space. And so we drift as tiny observers on a small blue world, gazing out at these unseen giants. We measure their influence, trace their ripples, and try to translate their silence into understanding. But the truth remains vast and ungraspable, shimmering at the edges of our knowledge like a mirage. Still, we listen. We listen because their silence calls to something ancient within us. The same part that once looked up at the night sky and wondered where we came from. That same wonder now looks deeper into the darkness between the stars and finds peace there, because within that darkness lies a strange kind of serenity. The black hole is not chaos, but completion. It is the final sigh of the star, the return of energy to the void, the soft balancing of cosmic scales. Its pull is gentle, constant, unyielding, a slow invitation to stillness. If you were to fall toward it, you would not feel the violence that imagination paints. You would feel the gradual stretching of time, the slowing of motion, until seconds become eternities. From your perspective, you would drift forever toward the horizon, never reaching it, caught in the soft distortion of space and time. To an outside observer, you would fade slowly, your light red shifted into invisibility. But to yourself, you would pass through, crossing into whatever lies beyond, carried by gravity's final lullaby. The black hole is a paradox of the universe, both an end and a beginning. It destroys and preserves, silences and sings, hides and reveals. It is the quiet heart of creation, pulsing beneath the fabric of existence. Even as we sleep beneath our fragile sky, these invisible giants continue their ancient work. They shape galaxies, bend time, and weave the grand design of everything that ever was or will be. They ask for nothing, they offer no warning, and yet, in their stillness, they hold the universe together. The stars continue to burn, the galaxies continue to spin, and through it all, gravity hums its eternal tune. Somewhere in that harmony, the black hole keeps rhythm, a patient, endless pulse at the center of all things. And as we drift to sleep, Our thoughts wander toward that distant darkness. We find comfort in knowing that even the void has beauty, that even the silent has music. The black hole, in all its mystery, reminds us that peace is not found in light alone, but also in the quiet pull of gravity's embrace. Beyond the veil of starlight, where the last echoes of creation drift through cold expanses, the universe deepens into silence. The black hole rests there not as a wound in space, but as a mark of perfection, where all motion comes to rest, where energy becomes stillness. It is both a question and an answer, waiting patiently in the darkness for minds to listen. There was a time when we could not imagine such a thing. The very idea of a star collapsing into nothingness seemed to defy reason. To vanish completely, how could the universe allow such a disappearance? Yet it does. Nature does not resist paradox, it embraces it. Where we see contradiction, the cosmos sees its symmetry. When a massive star ends its life, its last act is one of surrender. No longer able to resist its own gravity, it collapses inward, folding layers of matter into a density so extreme that even light, the fastest traveller in the cosmos, cannot escape. What remains is a singularity, an infinitesimal point where the known laws of physics dissolve. Around it forms the event horizon, the boundary beyond which there is no return. This border is not a wall nor a surface. It is simply a place where paths turn inward forever. Time itself bends there, curving toward the singularity like water spiraling into a drain. To stand near it would be to feel the universe itself stretch beneath your feet. And yet, from a distance, there is beauty in this strange equilibrium. The black hole does not rage, it hums. Its gravity, though immense, extends outward with grace, shaping the orbits of stars, the paths of light, and the rhythm of entire galaxies. Around some black holes, the energy of falling matter creates luminous coronas, disks of light brighter than 1,000,000,000,000 suns. These cosmic whirlpools glow against the night, revealing the presence of something that itself cannot be seen. Through telescopes on Earth and in the void above it, we have begun to glimpse these wonders. We have seen the faint outline of their shadows, the glowing rings that frame the invisible. It is as if the universe itself paints their portraits in light we cannot fully touch. Each image whispers of gravity's gentle hand, the sculptor of galaxies, the keeper of cosmic time. And time, here, is a thing transformed. Near a black hole, it stretches like silk in the wind. Seconds for us become centuries for another. The closer one moves to the event horizon, the slower time becomes until, from an outside perspective, it nearly stops. A single moment could last forever. A falling particle, caught in that endless delay, becomes a ghost suspended in space-time, forever reaching, never arriving. To imagine such a place is to step outside the comfort of our senses. It is to glimpse a truth that the universe hides behind its veil of beauty, a truth that creation and destruction are not opposites, but companions. The black hole consumes, yes, but in doing so, it gives structure to the stars around it. It provides balance. Without its pull, the cosmos would drift into chaos, unanchored, undefined. In a galaxy far from ours, there may be thousands of these silent giants. Some are born from dying stars, others from the early collapse of primordial matter, older than any world we know. Some grow as galaxies merge, swallowing smaller black holes in cosmic embraces, that ripple through the fabric of space-time. These ripples travel outward. Invisible yet powerful, gravitational waves moving through everything, even us. They pass through our planet as you listen now, bending space ever so slightly, carrying the memory of ancient collisions billions of years away. And though we cannot feel them, the universe does. Each wave is a note in a vast, endless symphony, the music of space itself. There is a strange peace in knowing that somewhere in the dark, two black holes are spiraling toward one another, circling closer and closer until they merge. The energy released in that moment is greater than all the light from every star in the visible universe, yet it passes in silence. No sound, no flash, only ripples in the fabric of existence, spreading outward like the softest whisper. If you could witness such a moment, but you might expect violence, but you would be surprised by its calm. From the perspective of the cosmos, it is an act of completion. Two solitary entities become one, and the universe carries on, ever composed, ever still. This is the poetry of the black hole. It reminds us that power need not shout. The strongest forces in nature move quietly. They are not seen, but felt in the pull of orbits, in the bending of light, in the slow drift of galaxies through the cold sea of infinity. And still, for all its mystery, the black hole is not beyond understanding. It is part of the same natural order that formed you, the same physics that shaped your heartbeat and your breath. Gravity, that same invisible hand holding your feet to the ground, is what shapes stars and bends time. It is the thread that weaves all things together, from the smallest atom to the grandest galaxy. The difference is only one of scale. When you stand beneath the night sky and look up, the stars above you are not distant strangers. They are family. Their light, though ancient, touches your eyes because you are made of the same matter they once burned. Every atom in your body was born in a star's heart, fused in light and carried across time to form you. And one day, when your atoms return to the dust of the cosmos, they may again fall into the pull of a black hole, drawn back into the cycle of creation. There is something deeply comforting in that thought, that nothing is lost. Even when light itself cannot escape, it is not destroyed, it is transformed. Hidden beyond the event horizon, it becomes part of something larger, something eternal. Scientists once wondered what happens to information when it falls into a black hole. If every particle carries its own story, does that story vanish forever? Or is it preserved in some unseen way, encrypted into the fabric of space itself? The universe, it seems, does not like to lose anything. Even here, in the darkest places, there may still be memory, subtle, silent, waiting to be found. The deeper we look, the more the black hole reflects us. It holds up a mirror to our desire to know, to our fascination with mystery. We chase its secrets not out of fear, but out of awe, for in its stillness we sense something sacred, a calm older than time itself. And as the black hole continues its endless work, matter falls, light bends, and time stretches. Galaxies drift through the void, their luminous arms spinning gracefully around their hidden hearts. The stars sing their final songs, collapsing into quietness, and the cycle begins again. In the grand rhythm of existence, the black hole is not the end, but the pause between breaths. The still point where the universe takes a moment to reflect before beginning once more. If you close your eyes, you might imagine it now, the slow spiral of dust and gas glowing faintly as it circles the unseen core. You might picture the light stretching, curving, fading into the deep. You might feel, for just a moment, the pull of gravity itself, the same pull that binds galaxies, that shapes destinies, that whispers to every atom in the cosmos to come home. And in that quiet pull, there is peace. Somewhere in the infinite night, a single photon begins its journey. It drifts for billions of years, crossing gulfs of darkness so wide that entire civilizations could rise and fall within its passage. It carries with it the faint memory of a star, a soft gleam born in fire and released into the void. Yet as it travels, it feels the faint touch of gravity, the subtle persuasion that curves the very fabric of space. And there, ahead of it, lies the black hole. To the photon, it is not a wall but a turning point. Space bends so sharply that its path, once straight and sure, begins to curve. It circles the unseen center, caught in the smooth whirlpool of gravity's embrace. To any observer far away, this moment creates the most haunting sight in the cosmos, a ring of light that glows around perfect darkness. This is the event horizon, illuminated not by the black hole itself, but by the desperate light that tries and fails to escape. It is in this luminous ring that the mystery of the universe reveals itself. Darkness and light coexist, forever intertwined. The shadow defines the brightness, and the brightness gives shape to the shadow. It is the perfect harmony of opposites. From afar, the black hole seems motionless, but in truth it spins, some at unimaginable speeds, turning hundreds of times every second. The faster they spin, the more they distort the space around them, dragging even light into their rotation. This dance of space-time, called frame dragging, is among the strangest phenomena known. Near such an object, the very concept of direction becomes uncertain. Space twists upon itself, and time folds in spirals. Yet there is beauty in this distortion. The universe does not fear complexity, it celebrates it. Every curve of light, every bend in time, is an expression of balance. The black hole may seem like destruction, but it is also creation, shaping the dance of matter and energy with exquisite precision. If one could float safely nearby, far enough not to be pulled in, the view would defy imagination. Behind you, the stars would glow, and ahead, their reflections would bend and merge around the whole, forming halos and arcs that shimmer in silence. Every direction would seem to contain the same stars, mirrored and multiplied by gravity's lens. The night would become infinite. It is said that if you were to watch someone fall toward the event horizon, you would never see them cross it. To you, their motion would slow, their light fading, stretched into red and then into darkness. They would appear frozen in time, forever reaching, forever just on the edge. But from their own perspective, they would continue without hesitation, crossing the horizon and entering the unknown beyond. What lies beyond? No one knows. Perhaps it is the end of time, or perhaps it is a beginning we cannot yet perceive. Some theories speak of wormholes, bridges through space and time, connecting distant parts of the universe, or even different universes altogether. Others imagine that the singularity may lead not to an end, but to a rebirth where matter and energy are released in another cosmos, forming new stars, new galaxies, new possibilities. The truth remains hidden, for no light escapes to tell the story. The black hole keeps its secrets in perfect silence, and in that silence there is wisdom. The universe is not built for certainty, it thrives on mystery. It is the unknown that gives it depth, the unanswered that gives it meaning. For if everything could be seen and measured, the cosmos would lose its wonder. The black hole ensures that wonder remains. Even as we rest beneath our soft skies, our world small and fragile, these cosmic giants continue their patient watch. They are not threats, but guardians of order, keeping galaxies bound, balancing forces we can barely comprehend. Their gravity is not a destroyer's hand, but a sculptor's, carving the shape of the cosmos from the raw material of chaos. There is a quiet poetry in that role. Each black hole is a keeper of time, a memory of stars that once lived and burned with fierce beauty. In their death, they became something more enduring, a monument to transformation. The energy of their collapse rippled across the universe, seeding new beginnings elsewhere. Even destruction in nature's hands becomes creation, and so the story continues. New stars ignite in the arms of galaxies, their light weaving through dust and gas, their warmth giving birth to planets, to oceans, to life. And far away, unseen but always present, the black hole watches. Its gravity holds the galaxy in its slow, grand rotation, ensuring that every orbit, every shimmer of light, remains in perfect rhythm. We often imagine the black hole as lonely, but perhaps it is not. Perhaps it is connected to everything through gravity's invisible threads. Each star that moves, each planet that turns, feels its influence, however faint. Even here on this small blue world, every atom responds to that universal pull. We are part of its song, though we cannot hear the melody. When night falls and the world grows still, that song becomes easier to sense. The faint hum of existence, the steady beat of gravity beneath everything. It is there, soft and eternal. The universe breathes, and we breathe with it. Imagine now drifting closer, not in fear, but in calm curiosity. The stars fade as the black hole fills your view. Its edges blur, its form more suggestion than shape. You feel time slow, your thoughts stretch, your heartbeat echo in the distance. You are no longer falling. You are floating, timeless, within the gentle pull of gravity's cradle. There is no sound, no sensation of movement, only the feeling of surrender. You realize that the black hole is not an abyss. It is a return to unity, to stillness, to the place from which everything once came. Perhaps that is the secret the universe keeps, that at the end of all journeys, all light, all matter, there is not oblivion but peace, a kind of cosmic rest. The galaxies continue to spin, the stars continue to burn. But within every heart of darkness, there lies this eternal calm. The same calm that fills the space between your breaths. The same quiet that hums beneath the noise of life. The cosmos and the soul are made of the same silence. And so, as we drift further into this thought, let the mind become still. Let the noise of worry fade, the boundaries of time blur, and the body rest in the same serenity that governs the stars. For the black hole, though vast and unknowable, offers us this one truth, that peace is not found in stillness alone, but in surrender to the rhythm of existence. Everything falls, but nothing is lost. Everything changes, yet all remains part of the whole. The night sky, vast and silent, holds countless of these invisible hearts, each one a song without sound, a story without words. They do not demand to be seen. They simply are, patient, eternal, complete. And as you listen to their quiet presence, you begin to feel it within yourself, the same pull, the same balance, the same timeless peace. The universe whispers its secret once more. You are made of the same stillness as the stars. In the boundless ocean of the cosmos, where every point of light is a sun and every shadow holds a secret, the black hole remains one of creation's quietest truths. It waits there in the heart of galaxies, patient as time itself, untouched by the haste of living worlds. It has no need for movement, no urgency for change. Its existence is its purpose. All around it, the galaxy spins. Stars are born from clouds of dust and gas, glow with the warmth of fusion, and die in magnificent silence. The black hole watches this endless rhythm like a slow cosmic tide. Every birth, every death, every flicker of light. Each is part of the same unbroken dance. If we could listen closely enough, perhaps we would hear it. The hum of gravity, the low vibration of the universe's eternal pulse. It is not a sound the ear can capture, but the soul can feel it. The same subtle rhythm that pulls the moon through the sky, that shapes the curve of the ocean's waves, that binds the stars in spirals of luminous grace. The black hole is not apart from this song. It is the silence between its notes. It is the pause that allows the music to breathe. Without it, the melody of creation would lose its balance. For in all things, there must be contrast, the light and the shadow, the birth and the return, the sound and the silence. Far beyond our Milky Way, there are galaxies where this contrast is painted on a scale too vast for the mind to hold. Some black holes blaze with radiant halos, their accretion disks spinning with furious beauty, glowing brighter than entire galaxies. Others sleep quietly, hidden and cold, invisible even to the most sensitive eyes. Yet, whether radiant or silent, each performs the same sacred task, maintaining balance in the universe's eternal cycle. There are black holes so small they could fit inside a mountain, born from stars not much larger than our own. And there are giants, billions of times heavier than the sun, that sit in the centers of galaxies like anchors of space and time. These supermassive hearts hold everything in place. Without them, galaxies would unravel, scattering their stars into the dark. The black hole's gravity, unseen but absolute, gives shape to everything that shines. Imagine drifting now through that space. The faint glow of distant stars around you, the silence so deep it becomes a presence. Ahead lies one of these galactic hearts. From afar, it appears as a faint halo, a swirl of light around a perfect void. As you approach, the light brightens, twisting into a spiral that draws you closer until the entire sky seems to turn with it. It is not frightening. It is majestic. The light dances, the stars blur, and the sense of motion becomes dreamlike. You realize that you are not falling, but flowing, drawn not by violence, but by inevitability, like a leaf on a gentle current. The pull of gravity feels less like capture and more like belonging. Around you, space bends. The horizon curves into itself, creating illusions of movement where none exists. You see the same star reflected in 1,000 directions, stretched into ribbons of color. Time slows, your heartbeat becomes infinite. And in that endless instant, you understand that this is not the end. It is the beginning of something beyond comprehension. And perhaps this is the black hole's truest lesson, that endings are illusions. What we call destruction may simply be transformation. What we call loss may only be change. Even light, though it disappears from sight, does not die. It becomes part of the fabric of something greater. Deep inside the event horizon, where the rules of space and time dissolve, there may exist a realm beyond imagination. Some scientists call it the singularity, a point where everything is compressed to infinite density. Others suspect it may not be a point at all, but a bridge, a gateway to something new. Perhaps within that unknowable darkness, the seeds of future universes are waiting. In this way, the black hole is not just a tomb of stars, but a womb of creation. The universe is cyclical. Every death feeds life. Every silence follows song. Every fall becomes a rise in another form. The black hole, in its patient stillness, is the keeper of that cycle. Our own galaxy is shaped by such a heart. Sagittarius A, the supermassive black hole at its center, has watched for billions of years as the Milky Way spun and grew around it. It has seen stars ignite and fade, planets form and crumble, comets wander through the deep, and through all of it, it has remained, unchanged, unmoved, eternal. In its quiet watch there is wisdom, for what could be wiser than patience? What could be more powerful than silence? It does not seek attention, and yet all things revolve around it. It does not speak, and yet it commands the motion of billions of stars. Sometimes, as we gaze into the night, we might imagine that this vastness is indifferent, that it neither knows nor cares that we exist. But perhaps indifference is not the right word. Perhaps the universe is simply serene. It is not cruel nor kind. It simply is. And within that acceptance lies a peace deeper than words. The black hole embodies that peace. It does not resist its nature, it fulfills it. It allows what must fall to fall, and what must endure to endure. Its pull is not forceful, it is inevitable. And in that inevitability, there is harmony. Every human life, every breath, is bound to this same principle. We, too, are drawn by unseen forces, gravity, time, emotion, memory. We orbit around love, around purpose, around the luminous centers of our own making. We fall, we rise, we change. The rhythm of existence mirrors the rhythm of the stars. To understand black holes, then, is to understand ourselves. We are creatures of light and darkness both, held between what we know and what we cannot yet comprehend. We move through time as the stars move through galaxies, slowly, beautifully, inevitably. And so, as we drift further into this cosmic dream, imagine yourself at peace within this great balance. The black hole, the stars, the galaxies, all moving in timeless rhythm, all connected through gravity's invisible song. You are not apart from this. You are this. The same forces that hold the universe together hold you as well. The darkness of the black hole is not emptiness. It is fullness beyond measure. Within it lies everything that has ever been, compressed into a single, perfect moment. And perhaps, if you could listen closely enough, you would hear it, the soundless hum of creation itself. Let that hum carry you deeper into calm. Feel its rhythm align with your breath, slow and endless, ancient as the stars. Inhale the quiet, exhale the weight of time. Let the vastness embrace you as gravity embraces light. In this stillness, there are no questions, no boundaries, no fear. Only the soft truth of the universe that all things are connected. All things are one, and all things return to peace. And when you finally drift into that peace, whether in sleep or in thought, you will find that the darkness is not something to escape, but something to enter. For it is there, within that still and perfect night, that the cosmos sings its gentlest lullaby, the song of gravity's embrace. The universe, even in its vastness, has a way of whispering softly to those who listen. It does not speak in language or sound, but in patterns, in the slow turn of galaxies, in the rhythm of orbit and drift, in the faint light that crosses eternity to reach a single pair of eyes. And within that whisper, the black hole holds a note so deep and enduring that it seems to belong to time itself, far beyond our reach. These invisible hearts continue their eternal vigil. They do not fade, they do not age in the way stars do. Their gravity is a promise kept forever, a promise that what falls will find rest. Around them, the cosmos unfolds like a quiet sea, each wave a century, each shimmer a world. Perhaps it is in their silence that we understand the deepest truths. Because silence, after all, is not emptiness, it is space for reflection. When a black hole pulls in the remnants of a dying star, it is not devouring, but transforming. Matter becomes energy, energy becomes motion, motion becomes gravity, and gravity becomes silence again. The cycle completes itself without fanfare, without applause. And we, tiny watchers from a small blue world, can only marvel at this balance. To think that such power, enough to bend light and time, moves not with thunder, but with grace. To think that within the most destructive force lies the most profound calm. The black hole teaches us what it means to let go. Everything that crosses its horizon becomes part of something larger. Nothing resists, nothing escapes, nothing stands apart. It is a surrender not of defeat, but of belonging. And perhaps, in our own lives, there is a lesson there. To yield sometimes, to flow with the unseen currents, to trust that even in darkness there is purpose. In the faint light of distant galaxies, the story repeats. Everywhere, the same rhythms, stars ignite, burn, fade, and fall. Gravity gathers what remains, the universe breathes, expands, and continues. Time stretches endlessly, yet every part of it belongs to the same whole. And when you look up at the sky, at that tapestry of silver, dust scattered across the black, you are looking at history. Each star, each shimmer, is a story billions of years in the making. The light you see left its source before your world was born. Some of it began its journey when there were no humans, no oceans, no names. And still it travels, carrying the memory of where it came from. That light, too, is drawn by gravity. Every photon, every beam bends ever so slightly toward the great masses that shape space. The universe is curved by its own content. Even emptiness has form. Even nothingness has texture. And at the deepest level, the black hole is not a place, it is a concept. A manifestation of gravity pushed to its purest expression. It is the universe showing us what happens when reality meets its own limits, when equations break into silence. It is the point where understanding gives way to wonder. Perhaps that is why these dark objects captivate the human mind so deeply. They are mirrors of our own curiosity. mysteries that invite us to look closer, even when we know we cannot fully see. They represent the edge of knowledge, the horizon beyond which lies imagination. For centuries, we have dreamed of crossing that horizon, not to escape, but to know, to see what lies beyond, to touch the truth hidden behind the veil. And though we may never cross it in body, we cross it in thought every time we imagine, every time we ask, what if? In that way, the black hole is a symbol of human spirit, the pull toward discovery, the quiet gravity of curiosity. We, too, are drawn to the unknown, circling it with our questions, peering into its depths, reaching out with light and reason. And even when the answers slip beyond our grasp, we continue to fall toward understanding. There is a beauty in that endless pursuit. For just as matter falls into the black hole and becomes part of something infinite, so too do our questions fall into the vastness of the unknown, becoming part of the universe's ongoing story. And so, the black hole, far from being a monster, becomes a teacher. It shows us that mystery is not to be feared, it is to be cherished. That not knowing is not the end of wonder, it is its beginning. That sometimes the most profound truths are not found in light, but in shadow. Imagine, now, drifting once more through the cosmos. The stars stretch out around you like glittering threads of silk. The airless silence hums with unseen motion. Ahead, a black hole glows faintly in the light of its surrounding disk. Its edges shimmer with the fire of falling matter. It is both beautiful and absolute. You draw closer, feeling the gentle weight of gravity as though the universe itself were breathing you in. There is no fear, only awe. The light curves around you, the horizon bends, and time slows until it feels like a soft pause. You are not outside the cosmos now. You are within it, part of its infinite rhythm. If you could see through its darkness, perhaps you would glimpse not an end, but another dawn, somewhere far beyond imagination, where the energy that falls here reemerges as light again. Perhaps all things are connected, looping endlessly through forms we cannot yet perceive. And maybe that is the truest comfort the cosmos offers, that nothing ever truly vanishes. Not a star, not a world, not a thought, not a soul. Everything changes shape, shifts, and continues. The black hole is not the destroyer of existence, it is the keeper of continuity. As you drift there, in the glow of its gentle pull, the boundaries of time and distance dissolve. You begin to sense that you are not separate from this darkness. You are made of the same matter that once burned in stars, the same dust that falls into these quiet giants, the same atoms that will one day rise again as light. The universe breathes through you, and you through it. All around, galaxies shimmer like lanterns adrift on an infinite sea. Their spirals turn slowly, their hearts pulsing with invisible gravity. Each one holds a black hole at its center. Each one a reminder that even in the most radiant beauty, there is a still point, a silent core of perfect balance. You begin to understand that peace does not lie in escaping the darkness, but in embracing it. The night sky is not something above you, it is something within you. The same vastness that fills the universe fills your own mind when it grows quiet. The same silence that surrounds the stars lives in the space between your thoughts. And so, as your awareness drifts like starlight fading into the deep, the universe feels less like a distant mystery and more like a memory. You have always belonged to it, and it has always known your name, not in words, but in gravity, in the quiet pull that binds all things together. Somewhere, perhaps billions of years from now, your atoms will once again dance among the stars. They may fall toward a black hole, become part of its song, and then, in some unimaginable way, return as light in another sky. The cycle will continue, endlessly calm, endlessly beautiful. And through it all, gravity will keep singing softly, eternally, its cosmic lullaby. So rest now under the watch of the stars. Feel the quiet strength of the cosmos holding you, as the galaxies turn, as the black holes hum, as time stretches into peace. Let the darkness cradle you. Let the universe breathe through you. Let the gentle pull of gravity remind you that you have never been alone. For in the stillness of space, in the heart of every black hole, and in the silence between every heartbeat, the cosmos whispers its timeless truth: everything falls into peace.